Is the Forerunner 255 still worth it in 2025? Whether you're a fitness enthusiast, a runner, or heaven forbid, a data nerd, you're probably wondering if the Forerunner 255 is worth your hard-earned money or if it's even a good fit for your lifestyle. This video is for you. As of recently, I've stepped up my fitness game. I wanted an easy and effective way to track my workouts, my sleep, my recovery, my heart rate. After some extensive research, I picked up a Garmin Forerunner 255 Music. It was on sale, and that's the one you see here today. Although I won't be running marathons anytime soon, I've really put this watch up to the test over the last couple weeks. I've managed to take it on tons of trail runs, mountain bike rides, paddleboarding, and I do a lot of strength training. Obviously. I'm gonna have to be really honest with you here. The 255 is packed with features. I've narrowed the pros down to a small list of my personal favorites where I think the 255 really shines. We're also going to cover some of the things where I think the 255 falls a little short. Be sure to stick around for those. The first thing that comes to mind is waking up to the daily morning reports. It really is a fun way to start the day, getting a general overview on your sleep quality, your overnight HRV, the weather, even training for the day. Now this next feature, Garmin could have easily left for more expensive models, but they have decided to include it with the 255. Back in 2002, users have complained that the 255 does not come with a barometer, even though it had a little spot for it on the back. In 2025, you can expect it to have a barometer. The 3-axis compass that comes installed on the 255 is actually very responsive. It doesn't seem to matter how you hold the watch, it won't negatively affect the compass reading at all. The 255 is loaded with activities, 58 to be exact, ranging from indoor to outdoor activities, including team sports. One of my only complaints when it comes to activities is that Garmin didn't include a kayaking feature with this model. It seems like that's something they've reserved for their more expensive versions. I personally wouldn't consider kayaking as a premium feature. They've already included rowing and stand-up paddleboarding, so why not kayaking? Since my partner and I go paddling regularly once it gets warm out, this is a bit of a bummer for me. In order to compensate for the lack of kayaking, I usually just go with the paddleboard feature instead. The onboard PPG optical heart rate sensor on the 255 easily tracks your heart rate. I've actually found it to be quite accurate. I want you to know that some users have reported wildly inaccurate heart rate readings. Know that this is not the fault of Garmin whatsoever, it's just the current technology on the market. Optical heart rate sensors have kind of been known for hit and miss accuracy, especially since the wrist is not an ideal spot to place them. Variables such as skin tone, skin temperature, tattoos, even bony wrists have been known to throw off readings. I've tested this 255 on several spots along my arm against the classic finger on the pulse test. I found it has been quite accurate actually, usually ranging between 2 to 5 beats per minute, and personally, that's good enough for me. If you require greater accuracy, or perhaps you're going to do a lot of swimming, consider getting a chest monitor, which is based off of the ECG technology, and they're way more accurate. Similar to the gas gauge in your car, the 255 has a body battery, which shows your energy levels. Body battery takes into account the quality of your sleep, how your energy replenishes overnight, any stress throughout the day, any activities you perform, and it actually graphs out how your energy levels deplete throughout the day. I have found it to be super useful and kind of a fun way to monitor my energy. One of the features I absolutely love about this 255 is that it hosts a wrist-based pulse oximeter to measure SpO2. SpO2 is described as the peripheral saturation of oxygen in your blood. Now it's important to know that SpO2 readings, they don't tell you how well or how efficiently your body absorbs oxygen from the bloodstream. SpO2 is only a measurement of how much oxygen is in your blood compared to the maximum your blood can hold. I like to think of it this way. SpO2 is to blood what relative humidity is to the air. Factors such as high altitudes, asthma, sleep apnea, or even respiratory infections can cause SpO2 readings to drop below 90%. That's usually a pretty good indicator that there isn't enough oxygen in your system. Just like SpO2, I absolutely love that Garmin has included VO2 Max in the 255. Using the heart rate sensor on the back, combined with GPS, the Garmin can calculate how much oxygen per kilogram of your body mass your body can consume while operating at maximum performance. Based on your current athletic performance, the VO2 Max will appear on a little colored scale along with a numeric value and a one-word description for easy reference. As your fitness levels increase over time, so will your VO2 Max score. Now within Garmin Connect, their mobile app, they will actually estimate your fitness age based on your VO2 Max score, and they will rank you compared to other people of the same age group and sex. Acute Load is super helpful. They take your training history and will provide a green zone for optimal training. This little green zone on the graph will change as your workout time and intensity changes. Now, Acute Load helps you with optimal training with that green zone. They have also included Training Load Focus to help you maximize your gain and maximize your fitness levels over time. Training Load focuses on 3 different categories: low aerobic, high aerobic, and anaerobic activities. And depending on what workout you're doing, it'll automatically categorize that into those 3 categories. I can't believe how accurate this GPS is. It doesn't seem to matter if you're running or biking through a dense forest. It has no problems plotting out your exact route. Surprisingly, this GPS has proven to be more accurate than my partner's older but more expensive Garmin Descent, which she uses for scuba diving. It just goes to show how far technology has come. Now this next feature is huge, and it can either be a pro or a con. It depends on who you're asking. For me, these fat fingers don't get along well with tiny little touch screens. It's actually really nice knowing that I don't have to worry about bumping or touching the screen in a wrong way during my exercises. These memory and pixel MIP screens, they tend to be much better on battery life. The workflow that Garmin has designed is pretty user intuitive. If you're new to Garmin, there is going to be a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to the workflow, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. They also seem to be quite similar across the board. Again, the workflow for the 255 compared to my partner's older Descent, it's basically the same. We finally had a warm sunny day here on the rainy west coast, so we grabbed the paddle boards and hit the lake. The screen was absolutely stunning in sunshine. However, in any condition, whether it's dark and rainy or you're indoors, it's really easy to read the screen. Now the backlight on the 255 is actually pretty awesome and it goes plenty bright. Just keep in mind, the brighter that you make it, the more it's going to eat into your battery life. Now the one you see here today is a 46mm screen music option, and it comes in either white or black. I would recommend though, if you need fancier colors and prettier graphics, to go with one of Garmin's watches that hosts an AMOLED screen. Personally, this is really not something that I needed in a fitness watch. Just like adjusting the mirrors in your car, you can really customize this watch to how you want it to look. You can change background color, accent colors, data fields. You can really change settings to how you want this watch to look and perform for your needs. This is something that Garmin did really well. Let's say you're not happy with any of the stock faces that come pre-installed on the Garmin. Simply connect your smartphone, go to Garmin IQ app, and you'll be sure to find something there. On that note though, there are a few limitations when it comes to customization. One very specific example that comes to mind is the hydration feature. I personally have a really difficult time staying hydrated throughout the day, even after working out. So this is a feature I wish I could add to my home screen. The Garmin Connect mobile app can be downloaded for free, and it has been phenomenal. If you're a data nerd, just like me, this is going to satisfy your every need. The app syncs seamlessly to the watch, it collects and displays a ton of data, more than the watch itself can ever provide. Within the mobile app, you can actually connect with other Garmin users and friends, and they have a little newsfeed section where you can like and comment on their activities. The app allows you to build custom workouts. That's something that I do for strength training, and it's been really helpful. During my rest periods, I can easily track my sets, reps, and weights. This one is the music option, so it hosts 4 GB storage capacity, meaning you can download up to 500 songs directly onto the watch. Garmin has made it really easy to connect this watch to a third-party music provider like Spotify, Deezer, YouTube Music, or even Amazon Music. While 4 GB of music really doesn't sound like a lot in today's day and age, I can't remember the last time I listened to over 500 songs on a single workout. My favorite part about the music version is that I can leave my phone at home. The final 2 most important features about this Garmin aren't software related at all, and Garmin really got this right. In an effort to keep this watch as light as a feather and production costs as light as a feather, Garmin engineers have decided to design the housing out of fiber-reinforced polymer plastic. The screen is scratch-resistant Corning Gorilla Glass 3, and the strap is made out of silicone. If you look at the clasp here, it looks like it's made out of titanium, but I'm honestly not 100% sure. Although the 255 is not machined from a block of solid titanium, the quality feels durable and well made. Garmin really did a good job at designing the 255. If I had to choose one more thing about this watch, I would have to say that it's lightweight and it's very comfortable. When comparing this Forerunner to all of my other normal watches, I'm actually surprised how light this watch really is. I can also appreciate that the buttons have been streamlined in such a way that they won't dig into the back of my hand. That's always something I've had an issue with all of my other watches. Let's quickly talk about where the Garmin Forerunner falls a little short. Spoiler alert, there aren't a lot of things I can think of. Now, one of the biggest complaints I have is software related. Garmin has chosen to omit certain features and has reserved those for their higher end models, incentivizing an upgrade. Just like the kayaking feature, Garmin has omitted training readiness. While I don't really find it a necessary feature, it would have been really nice to have that general overview. Oh, and before I forget, the meditation app on here, it sucks. Like big time. Garmin should either improve on it or they should get rid of it entirely. Now this next one is kind of a big deal for some. I can see why Garmin has reserved it for their more expensive models. Now the 255, it lacks any kind of maps feature, although it does do breadcrumb tracking for you. Just don't expect any maps with street names or any navigation you would from, say, Google Maps or their more expensive models. If you don't need detailed maps on your running watch, then this really isn't going to be a big deal for you. Last but not least. Now we did touch on this a little bit earlier, which is the optical heart rate sensor. Just bear in mind that some users have reported false readings, so if you're going to get a fitness watch, regardless if it's a Garmin or not, just kind of keep that in mind. This leaves us with a burning question. Should you buy a Garmin Forerunner 255 in 2025? Before I give you my final verdict, leave me a comment down below with any requests. Let me know what you liked, maybe what you didn't like about this video. So, since you are a fitness enthusiast, a runner, or a data nerd looking for a budget-friendly, reliable way to track your workouts, if you don't need a touchscreen, fancy graphics, or detailed maps, I think you would be making a great investment in your health picking up a Forerunner 255 Music. Now, I do recommend the music version over the non-music version because it is really nice to have music on the go without taking your phone along. For those of you who don't need all of the features that this watch has to offer, just know that there is room to grow into it over the years. On that note, there's one super obvious but super important thing that I wanted to point out. If you're going to purchase a fitness watch, you have to commit yourself to improving your fitness. You need to use it. At the end of the day, the most important thing is building those healthy habits. If you're thinking about picking up a Forerunner 255 Music, I'm going to leave some links down below. Be sure to keep an eye out for any sales. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the trail.